TSN.
It's Penny Hefner from Medicine Hat against Surrey BC's Kelly Gorsek in our quarterfinal to see who will become our second semifinalist in women's 5-pin play. Penny Hefner coming off a brilliant 318.
7 strikes in that first match. Hit the head pin 9 out of 11 times. Solid game. Never had an open frame. Little push that time to the right. Lots of time on the approach, getting set, making sure she's in the exact position every time to start. Punch straight back.
Now Penny just had the one open frame, and that was the 5th when she got all the pins. We counted her 15. Just a remarkable opening game in beating Andrea Harris of Conception Bay South. So a slow start for Penny Hepner here, and she'll count 10.
Kelly Gorsek now, she'll try and draw on those 3 huge strikes she had in the 10th frame to win her match. 7 in all in the first game.
We also saw an awful lot of that in that first game.
We did, and part of the problem, or where she got into trouble, was she missed the head pin 4 times. She never converted any spares when she missed the head pin. Better, that's the first spare for Kelly. Right on the nose that time, drove it straight back.
Now, are you to be concerned if you're Kelly here, or do you say, look it, at least I'm around the head pin. I don't want the punch, but at least I'm around the head pin.
Well, I think I'd rather punch than miss it.
Okay.
Punches, you can make small adjustments and get back, so you've got an opportunity to get strikes. If you're missing the head pin, sometimes the adjustments weigh more on you. Fine line between a head pin and a strike.
So she counts 12 and has 32 through 2.
Second head pin for Penny. Punched it on the second ball in the first frame, and now here, first ball. Covers it up, tried to slide that 3-pin over. Good cover. She's been pretty solid throughout this first game and partway through here on picking up all the wood.
So it'll either be Penny Hefner, Medicine Hat, or Kelly Gorsuch from Surrey, BC, who becomes our second semifinalist in women's 5-pin play. And slight advantage to Kelly Gorsek. Neither bowler so far here in this quarterfinal being able to get something going. And certainly not for Hefner, who we saw put a brilliant 318 together in her opening win, beating Andrea Harris.
And she started off with 2 misses and a head pin. Now it starts to nag on you a little bit. You got to make adjustments. You got to get back to the pocket and get some strikes. There's a good shot on the inside. That's the one she'll want to remember and take with her to the next frame.
And that's her first mark after back-to-back opens.
Smooth three-step, good follow-through on the inside on that spare.
And so Kelly Gorsuch. I mean, what a wonderful finish she had, and just an unbelievable finish she had against Brenda Pankoff.
She really put it together at the end of that game. And she had 4 strikes in the last 3 frames. That head pin in the 9th really cut off what would have been a big game, but strong comeback in the 10th.
And then, you know, look at Brenda Pankoff would probably be the first to tell you she left the door open. She made the mistake. She could have closed it out. Not only in the 10th, she could have closed it out earlier than that.
Well, she'll look back at that ball she threw in the 11th. She had to hit the head pin, plain and simple.
So you can see really neither bowler yet taking any control here.
There's the good shot from Kelly Gorsek. First strike of the match in the 4th frame. Good follow through and extension. With the ball out on the lane. A little thick, but good rotation on the ball to break up a possible split. There it is. Left hand pocket, a little bit of a backup. Great shot from Penny.
So she has her first strike, also back-to-back marks.
Smooth, very solid at the foul line, Penny. She's got really fairly slow approach. Keeps her on track. Right hand pocket. She's getting good reaction in either pocket she hits.
And that's more like the Hefner we saw in that opening game when she bowled a 318. So now pressure really on Kelly Gorsek. She has a strike up. Has seen her opponent. Has she got another one here? No, she'll punch the head.
Second head pin in the match. Really inopportune time when you're in a close match working on a strike. Good count back on the strike. That's the big thing now. Get all the pins. Keep yourself in the match. Counts the 15 in the 5th frame.
But those 2 strikes for Hefner really look good right now.
Push that time. Right hand side. Saw this in the first match. Kelly struggled a little bit. She was 8 for 12. Every time she missed the middle, missed the spare as well, and it's happening again in this match. She's got 1 strike, only 1 spare in the first frame. 2 head pins now.
I want to always thank the proprietors, members of Bowling Canada, and Bob Randall in the foreground.
Penny with that miss to the left-hand side. She'll want to be in the right-hand pocket this time. Try and cover up the spare, take advantage of that strike in the 5th. Ouch. That's a huge error. Loses the count on the strike. Taking her time. Got to make sure this 15 count here.
Oh, nicely done. And that's a strike ball if she throws the first one.
Absolutely. Penny with a quick glance at the scoreboard. 6 frames in. She's got 28 pin lead. Great extension. That was a perfect strike ball. There it is. 2 in a row. One to make the spare, or 15 count rather, and then a strike coming back.
But again, you look at the scorecard and you think back to the way Gorsek played against Pankoff. She's still in it. Hefner has had the opportunity. Put a few more together, and look at this. So now Gorsek matches the strike.
She's never counted out. We've seen she can get a lot of strikes. Wow, big loft on that time. That was just about to the end of the arrow, some 15, 16 feet out on the lane bed. Big loft again, a little bit thick, gets the chop off, leaving the left 3-2. Ouch.
Yeah.
Really big spare that she needed here in the 8th frame. Punches that 3-pin straight back after she made a pretty good shot on the first ball. But another open frame. Through 8 frames, Penny Hefner with the advantage in this match. 28 pin lead in the 6th with a strike up in 7.
Great chance here. And still has a good chance if she can get the spare.
Great shot. A little bit thin on the left-hand side. Ball just goes straight back, and so does the 3-pin.
All about the pin count here. She can keep it going, and she does. Nice spare to get the left corner. Being able to do what Kelly Gorsek cannot do, and that's at least put something together.
It's back-to-back marks. Don't leave that big opening. Penny now 3 marks in a row through 3, 4, and 5, and now back-to-back here in 7 and 8. 9th frame.
Just couldn't skid it over far enough to get that right corner.
Once again, a little bit thin in that left-hand pocket, but she'll certainly take corner pins over punching. So, you know, sometimes they'll play it a little bit thin just to avoid that big wide-open split. Giving herself a chance.
The winner of the game moves on, of course, to play for the big money, becomes our second semifinalist. The loser will take home $1,000.
Let's see if Kelly Gorsek can have the big finish like she did in the first match. She's got a possible 230 if she can get 4 strikes in a row here to finish.
Oh, she missed that.
Great shot.
How did she miss that?
Never know what's going to happen. That looked like a perfect shot. Pick it up on the replay. See where the pins go.
Look at that. That 3-pin just absolutely dives around it. A nice job to get the spare. And now she needs the kind of 10th that she had against Brenda Pankoff. She needs to strike out and really put some pressure on Penny Hefner. Well, there's one. Oh my. Could we see this again?
3 strikes in a row, she'll finish with 215, and she'll force Penny to count 20 and 15 to win the match. Gotta have this one.
Is another one? No, 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 no. Not this time.
head pin trouble this game. 3 of them. 2nd, 5th, and now here on the 2nd ball in the 10th frame.
So Shabola 192.
Now for Penny, 183 in the 8th. Spare up in the 9th. Just stay behind the foul line. There's a strange slide on that 3-pin. Watch this bowling ball. She gets it a little bit thick. Head pin goes up in the air and just catches a piece of the 3-pin, sliding it over.
They'll have to do a readjustment on the pin setter. The machine probably thought it was down. So, but Penny Hefner will move on here as she becomes our 2nd semifinalist. And you know, Kelly Gorsek, in her first appearance on TV, will go home with $1,000. Good. And listen, maybe one of the more dramatic wins we have seen, or certainly I've seen in my time doing bowling on TSN, that win over Brenda Pankoff.
Absolutely. And that's a big experience you take with you the next time you go into a tournament.
So Penny Hefner, who was a runner-up in the pins game back in 1999, will move on here as we continue to wait for the pins just to get themselves in order. So the winner, of course, will move on, and she becomes our 2nd semifinalist. And now we're ready.
Good spare by Penny. A little long wait, but made the spare. Another solid game. She's only missed the middle twice here in this game. 1 open frame in the 1st on a miss. 1 head pin.
She'll finish with a 228 to go along with that brilliant 318 she bowled in the opener. And Penny Hefner from Medicine Hat, Alberta, becomes our 2nd semifinalist. It's women's 5-pin play, the Canadian Bowling Championships.